Hi there, it's Kalymnios from thethoughtgym.com. Welcome to today's yoga practice, which is going to be a smooth flexibility flow. So maybe we'll be going a little bit slower than we normally might do. I really want you to feel into the movements and just get to know your body a little bit. So let's start in child's pose. So coming onto your knees if you wish. And then sitting back onto your heels. So you can either have your knees quite wide or narrow or super narrow, totally up to you. Come back as far as is comfortable. If you can sit on your heels, that's great. If not, just come back as far as is comfortable. Maybe you want to put a cushion or a block or a towel or anything underneath your knees or your hips to help that. And just start to focus in on your breath. Breathing in through the nose, down into the kidneys, into the ribs, into the hips. Allowing the hips to sink a little bit further. Allowing gravity to do the work here. And then we're going to come and make our way into our tabletop position. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders and the wrists as you take the cat-cow position here. So inhaling as you gaze forwards, dripping the belly down, rotating the elbow creases forward. Exhale as you bring the chin to the chest, round and down the top of the back here, bringing the pelvis forward. So couple of cycles of inhaling and exhaling with that cat-cow. And if you wish to kind of be a little bit more free and fluid in the movement, don't feel constrained to just that forward and backwards motion. Maybe you want to add some circles with the hips, maybe coming back down a little bit, rotating over the wrists a little bit. Maybe you want to have your hands turned out in different positions and still do the cat-cow in that way. Be a little bit free here, maybe shifting the positions, rotating them round. And then start to make your way back to the cat-cow starting position and then into your plank position. So keeping the hands underneath the shoulders and keeping the feet active, the soles of the feet active, the heels of the feet active. And really starting to zip up through that central line, feeling your way into the practice. So quite a strong opening pose here in our plank position. And then from here we're going to make our way slowly down to the ground in our chaturanga, okay? So taking that down, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then extending the right arm out away from you, almost like creating a half a T shape. Bending the left knee and just bringing that left foot to the floor behind you. So you rotate along the line of your body, opening up that right shoulder. Hopefully finding a nice, gentle and relaxed and easy stretch here. And coming back onto the front, bringing the right hand in, the left hand out, at perpendicular, bending that right knee, and then taking the right foot to the floor as you rotate over to the other side, opening up the left shoulder here. Remembering to focus on your breath, breathing in, and breathing out. Coming back onto your front, placing the hands underneath the chest, and then we're going to come up into a wide-armed cobra. So taking the hands slightly off the mat maybe, and as you come up into your cobra, roll up, so tuck the chin and roll up, coming up into your cobra, drawing the shoulder blades down the back body and then floating back down to the ground as you tuck the chin, roll up, creating that length along the front body and coming back down. One more time as we roll up Maybe hovering here a little bit more, finding that shoulder blade is coming down the back body here. Breathing in and breathing out. And coming all the way back down, placing the hands back underneath the chest, and then coming into downward dog in whichever way that you want. So that could be coming up through that push-up and back down to downward dog. It could be coming through your knees, sitting onto a child's pose and coming into downward dog. Or if you want a little bit more, you can come up through an upward dog and roll back into downward dog. From here, have a little pedal through the feet, and as you pedal through the feet, just inch the feet forwards, slowly but surely, all the way coming up to the front of your mat. Feet are about hip width apart here, and edges of the feet are parallel. And allowing the hands, the opposite hands, to take opposite shoulders here as you take ragdoll, maybe swaying from side to side, lengthening through the entire rear portion of your body, but particularly the hamstrings, maybe a little bit into the glutes a little bit, especially if you rotate from side to side. Just hang here for a bit, starting to breathe, closing the eyes, focusing on the breath, sensations. Okay, then from our ragdoll position, we're going to roll up halfway, flat back, hands to your shins here, and then fold back down. Okay, maybe a slight bend of the knees, roll up halfway, flat back, possibly now straightening the legs, and fold back down. Okay, one more time, rolling up halfway, flat back, and folding back down. And then after that, bending the knees, rolling all the way up, vertebra by vertebra, arms come up over the head, and then arms to the side here as we swan dive all the way down to the ground. And then stepping the left leg back, lowering the left knee towards the ground, keeping a nice 90-degree angle in your knee over your ankle here. As you inhale up, and exhale, placing the right hand towards the ground and left arm reaches up and over, finding that stretch along the left side of the body here. If you've got something to put your hand on, your right hand, you're more than welcome to put it onto a block or a book or a kettlebell or whatever you've got. Otherwise you can keep it in space here. Maybe you can get a bit lower, and I normally like to push the heel of the hand away rather than just straightening the fingers here. Finding that side body stretch. Really feeling it. Really starting to enjoy it. Good. Placing the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers, and just drawing the chest open, leaning a little bit further forward this time. So a little bit further forward as we take our stretch here. So really feeling the left hip flexor open up a little bit here. Good. Now we're going to place the hands back down either side of that front foot and step back into three-legged dog, bending the knee, shifting the weight forward and making our way all the way to the ground, bringing our right foot to the ground here. So we've got our foot to the ground here. Bring the right foot inside Janushrasana as we bring that heel in towards the groin. Inhale up, exhale as you fold over that left leg. Inhale and exhale and deeper. Coming up from our fold, taking the left hand onto the right knee and the right hand behind the head as you open up, almost like pulling on that knee, but lifting that right elbow up to the sky, and then slowly bending a little bit towards the lengthened leg. So finding a bit of a side body stretch here, and then coming back, releasing, placing the hands back down onto the ground here, stepping back into three-legged dog, and then stepping that right leg all the way through into our pigeon pose. So from our pigeon pose, you want to try and keep that shin wherever it's comfortable. Sometimes it's nice to have it parallel, other times it might be a little bit closer into the groin. If you want, you can place something underneath your right thigh. Mine is a little bit lifted here, and normally at the moment I'm quite tight, so I would put a towel under there, or a block or a brick or something. But from here, you keep this right foot nice and active, keep a little bit of protection going on, and we're going to roll down and then tuck the chin and roll back up. So we're taking these little Cobra Rolls down and back up. Okay, down and back up. And then from here you can either stay in this high pigeon pose. You may want to come onto your forearms if that works for you, or even onto your forehead and stretching out in front in some comfortable way. Okay? If this is super tough for you, you can always take reclined pigeon, which will be on your back, taking the figure 4 legs. Okay? Do whatever is good for your knee here. Okay? So if it's better to be up here, be up here. If you want to be down a little bit, be down a little bit here, and just start to just notice how the sensation changes as you change the angle of your body, the rotation of your body. Remembering to inhale and exhale. Each exhale brings you a little bit more peace, a little bit more release. And then rolling back up into your high pigeon here, taking a moment in high pigeon, and then we're going to tuck the back toes, if we can, come back into 3-legged plank, then bend that right knee, so your left foot is on the floor, the right knee is bent, slowly come down into a chaturanga, all the way down to the ground. Bring that right foot over as you rotate the body, placing it on the ground, coming back into our fold in a moment. So bring the right heel up towards the groin, wherever is comfortable for you. Inhale the arms up, and exhale as you fold over the left leg here. Breathing in. And breathing out, drawing that left hip back, allowing the right knee to open, folding into the length of that left leg, trying to fold with a straight back until you get to the point where you feel that you have to tuck the chin and fold back. Good. Then releasing, placing the left hand on the ground, then the right hand, as we find our way into a long lunge, and then rotating the legs to face the left, or the feet to face the left, coming into a forward fold here. Okay, coming into a forward fold, maybe grabbing hold of opposite elbows once more, enjoying that fold, keeping the feet facing forwards. And then rotating the body back, coming into that long lunge. From here, maybe a little bit wider with the legs. We're going to lower the left knee, and then you can stay here. This can be quite nice for you, or you can come down onto the forearms. If you want, you can put a block or a brick there. If you want to stay there, you can stay there. Otherwise, what you can do is you can lift the back knee, and you can maybe push forwards and backwards, take some circles, anything that feels pleasant to you here. Okay, so this is quite an intense stretch. I'm not going to be here for too long. It's not going to be a yin style, keeping it for 3 to 5 minutes. Just going to find a bit of a sensation here. Okay, of course you can come up onto the hands whenever you need to, or you can just stay down on the forearms. Okay. enjoying that. Okay, we're going to slowly come back up onto our hands. So we've got a little bit more going on here, a little bit more space. Then bring the right foot a little bit closer in so that we're maybe straddling the central line of your mat if you've got a central line here, okay? From here, engaging the core on the inhale, coming up into a long pyramid pose and then exhaling into that leg, okay? So we find that long pyramid pose, straightening both legs, maybe even lifting the front toes if you wish, as you fold the chest down onto, can't even see you guys, but if you fold the chest down onto the front leg, the right leg. Then bending back into that right leg, finding an easy twist here, placing the left hand down and the right hand up, and then releasing to the ground. Inhale, coming up into our high lunge here. So right knee still stays over the right ankle, back heel is active, and back leg is straight-ish, but it can bend into it a little bit more if you want. You might find that there's a bit more of a sensation along the left front thigh if you do that, and that's perfectly fine. You can do that, or you can keep that back leg as straight as you want, a little bit more intense. Hands can come up over the head, shoulder width apart, as you look straight forwards here. Good. Exhale, placing the hands back down onto the ground here. Make our way into honeymoon or half honeymoon. So lower the the left knee to the ground, and then straighten that right leg as you fold over the front leg. So kind of like that pyramid pose from before, but with shortened leg here. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. Good, and then bending into that front leg, placing the hands either side of the front foot, stepping back, making your way into downward facing dog. Okay, so taking your downward dog, index finger, middle finger pointing forwards, breathing in, and breathing out. Downward dog here, rolling forwards to your high plank. From high plank coming all the way down to the ground. And then bringing the chest onto the ground here. Good. From here, if you want, coming up into a Bhujangasana or Cobra, or coming up into a full upward dog. Tucking the chin, rolling back into downward facing dog. As you roll forward, finding your way back into that high plank, and then slowly coming back downward facing dog. And then walking the feet towards the hands like we did before. Coming into ragdoll momentarily as you grab hold of opposite elbows. Finding that sway from side to side maybe. Allowing the chin to tuck in. Finding your way up into your halfway lift, flat back, rolling back down. Halfway lift, flat back, rolling back down. Halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins or thighs, roll back down. This time bending the knees slightly, roll up vertebra by vertebra all the way to the top. Taking a gentle back bend as you engage the glutes and the thighs before swan diving all the way down towards the ground. Placing the hands on the ground, stepping the right leg back, lowering the right knee down towards the ground here. Keeping the left knee over the left ankle. And then we're pushing down with that left hand while we're simultaneously pushing up with the right hand, stretching into the right ribs here, the right rib cage, keeping our shoulders and our hips in a line, and just leaning over to the right side here. Okay, so we're finding side body stretch, pushing down whilst pulling up and pushing up, I guess. So we're trying to support the ceiling from falling on top of us. Again, if you've got a book, a block or anything like that, you can always place that underneath the left hand. Otherwise, pushing with the heel of the hand here. Good. And then we're going to make our way into framing our front foot and then stepping back into our three-legged dog. Bending the knee and then coming through that wild thing almost as you come to the floor, placing the foot inside of the right leg, bringing the heel up towards the hands, inhaling up, exhale as you fold forward over the right knee momentarily, not going to be here for long, and then we're going to come back up, inhale up, exhale as we bring the right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind us, finding our way into this side body stretch here. Really bringing that elbow up to the sky. Finding that stretch along the left rib cage here. Good. And then coming back, bringing our hands onto the ground. Finding our way into our three-legged dog and downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, lifting the left leg up, finding our way into our pigeon on our left side, so bringing the left foot behind the hands. Again, being gentle with the knees here, finding what's comfortable and what's going to work for you in this position. And maybe you're just staying high for now, and maybe you want to stay high, okay? From here we're going to take those undulations as we roll down and back up, roll down and back up, roll down and back up. Good. And then from here you can either stay in this position, you can bring the forearms down to the ground, and maybe that's comfortable for you. Remember, if this is really high and it's uncomfortable, if your left thigh is really high, then you can put a towel or t-shirts or laundry or whatever you've got to support you, cushions, which just makes it a little bit more comfortable. That right leg comes behind you, but the left shin can be wherever is comfortable for the knee. So just be really careful with the knee here in this position. And of course, if you want to come all the way down, bringing the hands out in front, you can come all the way down. I'm just going to stay on my forearms on this side. It's a lot tighter on my left side, especially on the knee. It's a little bit more challenging, so I want to be really mindful here and not push it. And again, if for you prefer to come up and stay up here, you can stay up here. That's perfectly fine as well. Good. And then we're going to make our way back into our three-legged plank or one-legged plank, however you want to call it. Lifting yourself up. Making your way first into three-legged downward dog, and then rolling through into your high plank. Bending that left knee so the sole of your foot is facing up towards the sky. Coming down through that chaturanga. And then rotating or turning towards your left as you allow that left foot to come to the ground. We're going to make our way back into our forward fold stretch. So that left heel is towards the groin, and then inhale, arms up, exhale as you fold over that right leg, finding your way into the forward fold. Good, and releasing out of that. Placing the hands back down onto the floor, stepping that left leg all the way through into that long lunge, and then we're going to find our way into our forward fold on the right side. So swiveling both feet towards the right side, coming into our wide-legged forward fold here as we rotate, not rotate, I don't know what I'm talking about, we fold all the way down. Maybe you're grabbing hold of opposite elbows here and allowing yourself just to hang out from side to side here, enjoying the forward fold. Enjoying that forward fold. If you want, you can place the forearms on the ground. I don't know if that will work for you, if you can get down that far or not. But allowing maybe the hands to come behind you if you want. You can take that variation, or even grabbing hold of the edges of your feet here. Just allowing gravity to do a bit of the work, hanging out in our nice wide-legged forward fold. Then we're going to turn left foot towards the front of the mat, coming back into that long lunge here. Lowering the right knee towards the ground, taking the left foot out towards the edge a little bit, and coming down into our kind of lizard pose, if you like. So you can bring the forearms down, or you can keep the hands where they are. Up to you what you do with that one. Otherwise, we're just gonna enjoy the stretch. Maybe you can lift the back knee if you want, pushing forwards and backwards, also an option. And from here, bringing the knee back down, if it was raised, coming back onto your palms if you were down on your forearms. And from here, coming into our pyramid pose. So bringing the foot in a little bit, lengthening through that front leg, forwarding down onto the left leg. Maybe you're raising the front toes if you wish. Finding that pyramid pose. From here, coming into a long lunge. Easy twist as you raise the left hand up towards the sky, placing it back down onto the ground. Inhale brings you up into that long lunge here. Inhale, arms up if you wish. Can't remember if we did that on the previous side, doesn't really matter. You can bend that right knee and you can find more of a stretch along that right hip flexor by doing so maybe. And then keeping that left knee over the left ankle. Okay, holding that place there. Opening up, maybe a little bit of a gentle back bend, finding a little bit more stretch here. Maybe activate those fingers, look up towards the sky even, finding some level of tranquility and peace. And then releasing the hands and the back knee towards the ground, coming into a stretch over the left leg. So bring the left hip back, straighten the left leg, fold the chest onto the left knee, finding a stretch here. And bringing the left leg forwards, finding your way back into downward facing dog. And then from there, either step or float your feet either side of your hands, and just taking a wide chair pose here as we open up and sit into our imaginary chair, placing our hands up above our head as if we're holding onto a big beach ball here. taking a bit of a box squat if you like. And then inhale, brings the hands, the body up. Gentle back bend here. And then swan dive in and rotate and bring the feet in a little bit. Wide-legged fold. Heel toe the feet together. Roll up halfway. Flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold back down. Roll up halfway. Flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Folding back down. One more time. Rolling up halfway. Flat back. Hands to shins or thighs, folding back down, bending the knees, rolling up vertebra by vertebra, arms coming up over the head, taking that gentle back bend. Exhale as you swan dive all the way down towards the ground. Step back into the downward dog, and then knees to the floor, sitting back into child's pose. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then from here, if you wish, you can end your practice here, or you can roll forwards and come into our final pose of Shavasana. So we're at the front of our mats. Just rotate, come onto your backs. Allow feet to come to the corners of the mat, hands to pop open, closing the eyes, softening the breath. Lengthening the neck, hands out, the shoulders out of the, or arms out of the shoulder sockets, legs out of the hip sockets. Breathing softly. Stay here for as long as you like, if you wish. Otherwise, starting to take some inhales and exhales into the belly, in through the nose. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, rotating the wrists and the ankles one way, then the other way. Then taking a big stretch, taking your hands over your head to the floor behind you, stretching the left side and the right side of your body out, maybe a few times each way. Bringing the knees in towards the chest. Hugging yourself tightly, squeezing yourself, telling yourself something nice about yourself. And then with your eyes closed, your attention focus inwards and towards your third eye. That's the space just in the center of your forehead above your eyebrows. Rolling either to your left or your right in that fetal position. Taking a moment here, maybe making a pillow with the hands before pushing your way up to sitting on your mat. It doesn't matter which way you're facing. Coming into any comfortable seated position that works for you. Keeping the eyes closed, the attention inwards, bringing the hands into prayer position in front of the heart center. Taking a breath here, perhaps offering your class up to someone or something else beyond you. Raising your prayer towards your third eye, your forehead, we ask that we have the wisdom to watch our thoughts. Lowering our hands or our prayer towards our throat chakra, our mouth, we ask that we have the restraint to watch our words, especially when dealing with other people, but also to be compassionate and mindful of our own internal dialogue. And then finally, lowering our hands towards our heart center, we ask that we have the strength and courage to do whatever is right and necessary, even when it's not the most preferred or desired path. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing along with me today. My name is Kalymnios, and if you want to connect further with me, please do head to The Thought Gym on all social media. YouTube has got lots of videos, not just about yoga, but lots around vitality and energy and personal development and so forth. Head to thethoughtgym.com as well, where there's a free energy audit assessment for you to help you improve your energy levels and your vitality levels. So I do hope to see you again on the mat very soon, whether that's virtually or in person. And until next time, namaste.